Welcome back. Good to have you along. As always, you're watching Ozarks Tonight, and I'm David Oliver. We're going to learn more tonight about a program that's been around here in Greene County for about 5 years, but it's a little-known program. It's doing some great work to help dads be more involved with their children here in the Ozarks. I've invited in Dr. Jennifer Baker to talk more about the Good Dads program. Dr. Baker, good to see you.
Hey, it's great to be here.
We've talked over the years on a number of stories. You were instrumental in helping to establish this Good Dads program about 5 years ago.
Yes.
What is Good Dads? I don't know, you hadn't even heard of the program before.
Well, Good Dads is a program to help all dads be more engaged with their children, and we do that with resources, information, and activities, but it's for any dad.
Okay. Why did this come about? Was there a need, obviously, to try to get dads more involved according to the numbers over the years?
Well, I am also a clinical psychologist, and in my years of working with therapists, supervision, and seeing children in therapy, I noticed that many children that we saw at the Murney Clinic, where I was the director, grew up in a home without their dad. So I started looking also at the resources and the research that said the impact of father absence.
You know, I was looking over some of your materials that you have about the program, and one statistic that you share is in 1980, 1 in 5 children was in a home without a father. Now, in these days, it's 33%, so that number has obviously increased. So we've seen perhaps more dads not be as involved with their children, and that's the whole goal of this program, is to get them more involved.
Right, and we know that there are single-parent dads and dads who have been divorced who are very engaged with their children. But we're talking about those children often who have a history of family instability, so that there's a lot going on in their family of origin. But also, we know there are a lot of dads who are together with the mother of their child. They're working hard, and they just don't know how to engage with their child. They come home at night, they're tired, they just don't have the kind of conversations they want to have or create the kind of memories they hope to have. Plus, we are also working with Prime Trucking, because how do you be a good dad when you're gone all the time? So
that's great too. And also, you mentioned, you know, how do you engage? I mean, I'm a father myself, and I'm very involved with my children. But sometimes when they're teenagers, it's hard to know how to engage with them. Let's be honest, right? When they're always on this or on their laptop and things like that.
Well, we have a new thing that we're doing this year called Dad to Dad Networking, and we're doing tackling tough topics.
Right.
So how do you talk with your kid about things that matter, but you know, they may not want to talk about, or you might feel uneasy about. So we do networking lunches, and we're going to do a breakfast this year that give dads the opportunity to learn from community people that they might know. Coach Ford is going to be one of our speakers, and then reflect on together, well, what works for you and what works for you, because we know that different dads have ideas, and we do some training ourselves.
I know when you kind of helped to launch this program 5 years ago, there was a lot of interest in it locally, because we know we live in a philanthropic community, that's for sure. Talk about the people who kind of came together to support this Good Dads concept and kind of get the ball rolling.
Well, some of our partners from the very beginning were 417 Magazine, Great Southern Bank, the Vision Center. So there are a number of people from different kinds of businesses that said, we believe this is important, and we don't see this need being addressed. Also, Springfield Public Schools had in 8 of their 37 elementary schools, they had All-Pro Dad about once a month or once a quarter, and we thought that was such a good thing, dads and kids eating breakfast together, that we wanted to encourage and support that. So today we have 2.5 times that number. Our goal is to get to at least 3 times that number of ways to encourage dads and kids to be engaged with each other in a meaningful way.
Yeah, you kind of talked before we started the broadcast here about the ways you all have kind of put your footprint out there in the community, in the schools. You know, how many people have you reached through this program? Just some estimates.
Well, we have an e-newsletter that's free that people get every week. We have between 4,000 and 5,000 on that. In our new Pathways for Good Dads program, we have enrolled more than 200. At our events, our lunches, we probably had between 400 and 500 different participants. So I think quite a few.
Sure. Obviously, this is a nonprofit
Yes.
agency,
Yes.
And it's a 401c3. Nobody's making money at this, so obviously you have to have a passion to see this through and to make this happen and to help improve the lives
Yes.
of children here in our community.
Yes, I think that just what compels me is if we don't address this need, we're leaving out a very important piece of the puzzle. And so we've spent a lot of time working on for moms and kids and all those women's issues, which I think are important. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, but I could see that over and over again we were telling men they weren't important and that we were or acting as if they weren't important. We'll do this, don't worry about us. And then we weren't helping them be successful in being a dad. We were more often giving the message, you're not doing that right. So what we really like to do with Good Dads is help dads be successful in the kind of role, the kind of father they want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, this obviously is a two-way street. It's going to benefit the children and the father, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Both sides.
Yes,
obviously.
I mean, that's the wonderful thing that we've seen is that when dads get engaged at being the kind of father they want to be, that often heals some things in them if they didn't have a good dad. If they had a good dad, they're like, hey, I'm carrying this on with my children. If I didn't, then I feel even better that I'm doing something for my kid that I never had.
Sure. Well, I think this is fascinating, and it's obviously a resource that's been around for a few years here in our community. But again, a lot of folks don't know about it.
Right.
So if you're watching this broadcast and you're thinking, I'd like to know more about that,
Yes.
how can people get involved and learn more?
Well, they could go to gooddads.com. Just
Okay.
gooddads.com. We have a website. We have podcasts that come out every day.
Okay.
We have an weekly e-newsletter. We have events. We have a number of events coming up. For instance, in September, we have Good Dads Fishing with Kids.
Okay.
So it's a good opportunity. We do all the work for you. You just show up with your kid, and there you have a fishing event and lunch for $5.
Well, you just saw the website there along the bottom of your screen, gooddads.com. How easy is that to remember? And like I said, this sounds like a great program, and it's obviously working and doing some good here in the Ozarks. Dr. Baker, good to see you as always,
you.
and thank you for sharing this with
You're
us and
welcome.
our viewers. We'll have more Ozarks tonight after this quick break.